These are times where Khabib Nurmagomedov destroyed cocky opponents for being disrespectful. Who'd be stupid enough to mess with, or worse, enrage a guy who used to wrestle grizzly bears for fun and who ended his MMA career undefeated, undisputed, and as the most dominant MMA fighter on the planet?
You're mad backwards. You're dead when I get my hands on you, do you hear me?
I never do it.
Fucking dead.
Alhamdulillah, tomorrow night I'm gonna smash your boy, guys. I'm gonna smash your boy.
Well, a few guys tried to act tough against Khabib Nurmagomedov, and their cockiness ultimately led to humiliating destruction, with one of the disrespectful dudes getting taken down a record 21 times. Yep, that guy was Abel Trujillo, an otherwise nice guy who left the eagle hanging. The story goes something like this. Khabib missed weight for the 2013 lightweight fight between the two. Trujillo got mad about it and snubbed a handshake with Khabib when they ran into each other backstage.
In my homeland, respect means a lot. And backstage, I came up to him, I apologized to him for not making the weight, and I extended my hand to shake his hand, and he basically just kind of gave me a mean look, and he walked away, he left me hanging.
Khabib responded to the disrespect by violently shoving Trujillo during face-offs, and they were quickly separated before it turned into a brawl. On fight night, Khabib made Trujillo pay for his disrespectful gesture by mauling him. The Russian secured a record 21 takedowns in what was a completely one-sided affair, 29 easiest wins of Khabib's career. 3 fights later, Khabib had solidified his place as the division's #1 contender, but he unfortunately lost the opportunity to fight for the belt to Conor McGregor, who headlined against Eddie Alvarez at UFC 205. Instead, Khabib fought Michael Johnson in the prelims on the same card. Pre-fight, Johnson took a few jabs at Khabib, saying that the Eagle hadn't evolved and was a one-trick pony.
Khabib's been out of it for a little while as well. Where do you think he's the most dangerous, though? Do you think we'll see a new and different fighter than the last guy we saw?
No, I don't think we're gonna see a new Khabib. We haven't seen him progress his game at all. You know, he's just been a wrestler to take guys down and hold them and beat on them, and he's great at that. And you know, that's what he's great at. So I hope he's became great at other places or worked on his stand-up, and I hope he tries to test it out on me Saturday. You know, I'm looking forward to that one.
When the cage door closed, Khabib didn't just beat Johnson, he made him look like a fool inside the octagon, mashing his opponent for 3 rounds while giving him a nice pep talk. After 3 rounds of a ground and pound masterclass, Khabib submitted Johnson by a Kimura.
What a display of dominance by Khabib.
Out Conor McGregor, calling him the easiest fight in the division. Khabib's UFC 205 octagon interview kickstarted one of the darkest rivalries in the UFC, and the two, who actually really liked each other at one point in their careers, saw their relationship take a wild 180-degree turn. Despite Khabib's rant, McGregor didn't respond to the eagle. Instead, the Irishman let his teammates take care of Khabib, which would eventually lead to serious altercations and arrests. McGregor's top cronies were Artem Lobov and Dylan Danis, both of whom slammed Khabib at every opportunity. Lobov in particular was more volatile.
Принял этот бой, даже не моргнул глазом, и вышел и победил. В то время, когда Хабиб снимался уже 6 раз. Он снимается, у него там чуть-чуть заболело, у него там в заднице или еще где-то, он снимается. Вес не может даже сделать. Ему наплевать на фанатов, что там все прилетели к нему из России, там и потратились, прилетели его смотреть, а он просто не вышел. Причем не 1 раз, не 2 раза, не 3 раза, не 4 раза. Так кто здесь чикен у нас? Кто боится? Конор выходит каждый раз, несмотря ни на что. Он настоящий боец. Он настоящий чемпион.
Lobov had to pay for his cockiness, so in a hotel lobby before Khabib's lightweight title fight against Iaquinta at UFC 223, the Dagestani mauler confronted the Russian hammer and even slapped him a couple of times.
Russian going down. Khabib's gonna make it happen right here.
Khabib's actions angered McGregor to the point that he flew all the way from his home city Dublin, Ireland, with a bunch of thugs and attacked a fighter bus on media day, causing multiple injuries and fight cancellations. Conor was actually charged with 3 counts of felony assault and 1 count of criminal mischief for the incident, however entered a plea deal and avoided any jail time. Khabib's response to the whole incident was iconic.
Send me a message, like location, I'm gonna come, wherever you want, doesn't matter, Ireland, New York, Brooklyn or Moscow, doesn't matter. Tell me.
And even Dana White agreed with him, saying that if McGregor had a problem with Khabib, he needed to fight him in the octagon instead of doing disgusting things like what he did.
No, I think everybody's going to be pretty disgusted with Conor McGregor right now. You know, listen, you don't like Khabib and you don't like what happened or whatever, then fight Khabib. You can come in here and you can do it legally. This fight's happening Saturday. We could have talked and made the Khabib fight right after. You could do whatever you wanted to Khabib within the limits of the rules of you know, fighting. But you want to grab 30 fucking friends and come down here and do what you did today? It's disgusting.
Ironically, Dana still used the disgusting footage to promote the UFC 229 blockbuster lightweight title fight between McGregor and Khabib. The build up to the fight was insane, with McGregor spewing venom against anyone and everyone affiliated with Khabib.
My heart is black towards this man, towards his team, towards his people. I could truly see the inside of that man's head and smile. I don't give a f about him or his people. Like I said, there is way deeper shit than just a fight on Saturday night. So it is what it is. I'm here. I'm gonna settle this the noble way for myself, and then see what happens after that. It's his birthday.
I'm gonna go like
in the bus.
Fight.
Happy birthday,
like,
in the bus.
I don't drink.
Why don't you drink?
I don't drink.
Why don't you drink?
I never drink.
I'll tell you some buzz at parties.
I never drink.
You're mad backwards. You're dead when I get my hands on you. Do you hear me?
I never
You're
drink.
fucking dead.
Although Khabib couldn't match McGregor's verbal prowess, he still had his solo moments.
I really want this guy. Make him humble, a little bit teach him, and you know, not only smash, like change his face. You know, I want to change his face.
Hey, first of all, I want to say Alhamdulillah, God give me everything. Alhamdulillah, I know you got this, you don't like this. Alhamdulillah, tomorrow night I'm gonna smash your boy, guys. I'm gonna smash your boy. And I wanna say thank you, all Irish fans, you know, all fans around the world. Because of you guys, this fight is happening. Thank you guys, and tomorrow night, inshallah, and still.
Thank you, sir.
For the most part, however, Khabib opted to stay quiet and do his talking inside the cage. Khabib dominated McGregor from start to finish and choked him out in round 4 to teach another cocky opponent a valuable lesson. Once Khabib settled his score with McGregor, he jumped out of the octagon and drop-kicked Conor's teammate Dillon Danis before unleashing punches on him. But why did he target Dillon? Well, prior to the fight, he allegedly called Khabib a quote-unquote Muslim rat, although he later clarified the rumors.
Was that actually a true statement, or is there any clarity that you'd like to provide on that?
Khabib actually didn't say that I said that. He said that I didn't say anything. It was Ali that made that up, because he was looking for a reason for Khabib to look like the hero, you know. He would made that up, and it was already, there's not one video or anything of me saying that. I never said that, and I had a mic, or John had a mic on next to me, and nothing's ever, you know, so I would never say something like that.
While Danis denies saying those words, it's stuff like this that angered Khabib, who many think rightly served Danis the humble pie. Unfortunately, McGregor couldn't immediately react to his UFC 229 loss, and Conor was actually attacked by several members of Team Khabib when it all went down. He only issued a 3-word statement on his loss, where he took to Instagram to simply state, "I'll be back." After almost crushing McGregor's jaw, Khabib decimated Dustin Poirier, who was super respectful, much like Justin Gaethje, but the highlight was a little more outspoken in his predictions. He went as far as saying that he'd cause massive damage to someone who almost took none.
He's going to have to take chances to not be on his feet. And when he's on his feet, I will be causing massive damage to his legs, to his body, and his face. And that's the plan.
Like Gaethje, Khabib had his plan too.
My wrestling is never stop. My wrestling, I'm gonna keep forward. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna give him hard time, you know. I'm going to make him tired. I'm gonna take his soul. This is what I want.
Some might say it was confidence more than cockiness, but Gaethje's prediction aged like milk. Khabib was in a different zone though, especially after the death of his father in the summer of 2020. He was extra motivated to go in there and absolutely destroy his opponent, and that's exactly what he did. After an exhausting first round, where Khabib chased Gaethje like a demon and had him gasping for air, the Eagle choked his foe out in the second round. Initially, Khabib wanted to go for an armbar, but since Gaethje's parents were in attendance, he didn't want to break their son's arm in front of them, so he switched to a triangle choke at the last minute. Safe to say, it was a humbling experience for the highlight.
I mean, he's very strong, very strong. You know, the transition from the takedown, you know, his ability to take shots. I landed some really, really clean shots, and he's got a hell of a poker face because I know it hurt him, but he acted like it didn't hurt him. You know, he has a great jab. His jab is so effective because of his level changes. I mean, you gotta almost pull your hips back anytime he's changing levels. I'm not sure anybody under 185 pounds in the UFC or in the world could beat that man.
The fight against Gaethje was the final one of Khabib's career, and he announced his retirement after the victory. These were moments where Khabib Nurmagomedov humbled cocky guys for being disrespectful. And Khabib isn't the only Dagestani killer who dominates the UFC. Check out this video on Islam Makhachev dishing out punishment to more cocky guys.